Let's be honest, we've all wanted to have a Labubu. At some point, the idea of buying one has crossed all our minds. But after hearing what I'm about to tell you, you might have second thoughts about whether you still want one. How can a toy cause gambling addiction? How could it be linked to the devil? Or how could such a tiny cute thing spark so many theories? In this video, we're going to talk about how Labubu became a worldwide phenomenon, how it so quickly turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry, the hidden cameras inside them, why some people see it as a demon, its connection to BLACKPINK's Lisa, and the wild theories that have been made about it. If you're wondering, where did this Labubu even come from? It's actually not new. It has existed for around 10 years, but not as a toy. It started as a book series. The character was created by Kasing Lung, a Hong Kong-born artist. When Kasing Lung was just 7 years old, he moved with his family to the Netherlands. This cultural shift left a deep mark on his childhood. In a new country with a new language and new people, books became his best friends. Scandinavian fairy tales, especially those about elves and supernatural creatures, completely captivated his imagination. Inspired by these stories, Kasing Lung began drawing tales about creatures that were both kind-hearted and slightly chaotic. This is where the foundations of Labubu were laid, and in 2015 he published a children's book called The Monsters. It told the story of a group of monsters living in the northern forests. One of those monsters was Labubu. This adorable character was actually a mischievous elf, with a furry body, pointy ears, tiny arms, and, most importantly, that famous big smile. So yes, Labubu started as a book character and later became a collectible toy. This happened when Kasing Lung's books, while popular in certain circles, weren't yet widely known globally. In 2019, Chinese toy company Pop Mart saw the potential in these characters and signed an exclusive licensing deal with Kasing Lung. But Pop Mart didn't just put the toys on shelves right away. They came up with a more brilliant idea: to sell them as blind boxes. This meant that when you bought one, you didn't know which character you'd get. After the deal, Labubu toys began selling as blind boxes in 2019. You might be wondering, if they've been sold since 2019, why have we only started seeing them everywhere in the last year? You're right. Their real explosion in popularity happened just last year. And how did they suddenly get this famous? This is where our story crosses paths with a K-pop idol, Lisa. It all began in April 2024 when BLACKPINK's Lisa posted a photo on Instagram. In the photo, she had a Labubu keychain attached to her bag. Soon after, more photos appeared showing her with Labubu figures. Later, in a YouTube interview, she said she loved Labubu and was obsessed with collecting them, even sharing little-known facts, like how all Labubu characters are designed as female, except their leader, Zimomo, who is male and has a tail. Lisa's Labubu obsession actually began long before they were made into toys, back when they were just book characters. When the toys came out, she immediately started collecting them. Lisa even said, "If I fly to New York or go to Miami, I try to find a Pop Mart. I'm always looking for them. It's like a treasure hunt." Think of it like Harry Potter fandom. Fans read the books, watch the movies, and collect every bit of merchandise they can find. Honestly, the biggest reason Labubu suddenly went global was Lisa. Once her love for Labubu became public, everyone wanted one and started posting videos online. Lines formed outside Pop Mart stores. Labubu figures sold out in minutes. Soon, celebrities like Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, Dua Lipa, and David Beckham were posing with them. Another key reason for Labubu's popularity is the blind box concept. People keep buying them until they get the rarest one or the one they really want. Not all figures are made in equal numbers. Some are very limited and special. This makes people hunt for the rare ones, and for children especially, this system can be dangerous. The desire for just one more try encourages constant purchases, creating greed, overconsumption, and dissatisfaction. Combine these three and what do you get? Gambling addiction. In psychology, this is called a variable ratio reward system. You don't get the same reward every time, but sometimes you hit the jackpot. Just like a slot machine, it creates a strong addictive pull. In a way, Labubu could be considered legal gambling. They're essentially playing with your psychology to get you to buy more. Pop Mart marketed Labubu masterfully. Every detail was carefully planned. The blind box system, rare figures, limited edition releases, and influencer collaborations. influencers started making "which Labubu did I get" videos, which triggered the thought, everyone has one, I should too. And here's an industry secret. Companies that sell blind box toys often send influencers rare figures on purpose. Why? Because when the influencer randomly pulls a rare one, they get excited and share it online. This makes viewers think, if they got it, I can too, even though it wasn't random at all. Now let's return to Labubu. There's actually a psychological phenomenon behind why everyone suddenly wants it. FOMO, fear of missing out. People fear being left out, thinking if others have it, I should too. This drives them to buy things they don't even need, spend more time on social media, and constantly check what others are doing. That's why Labubu took over so fast, because people thought they'd be less without it. There's also something called fake wealth effect. Maybe you can't afford a designer bag, but if you buy a Labubu and hang it on your bag, you instantly feel like you're in the same group as the wealthy. You're essentially buying a social status for $20 to $30. Here's an example from history that might make it even clearer. During wars or economic crises, sales of most products go down, except lipstick. People tend to indulge in small luxuries that make them feel good when big luxuries are out of reach. Instead of a vacation or an expensive bag, a $15 lipstick offers a small but affordable sense of luxury. Economists call this the lipstick effect. Labubu works the same way. It's a small luxury that makes you feel good without draining your wallet. Now, about those theories. Some claim Labubu figures have cameras in their eyes, listening devices inside them, or that their eyes follow you around the room. The creepiest theory, that they were inspired by a demon. At first glance, Labubu seems adorable, but look closer. Isn't there something unsettling about that smile? This is where people compare it to a demon from Mesopotamian mythology, Pazuzu. Pazuzu is considered the god of the southwest wind, bringing plagues, droughts, and locust infestations. Some social media users say Labubu's facial expression, teeth, eye shape, and even hand positions resemble Pazuzu statues. Even the names sound similar, Labubu and Pazuzu. While researching this connection, I came across a video where a creator referenced the Bible, quoting, "And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light." The point is, putting a Pazuzu statue in a child's room is obviously creepy. But Labubu, it's cute, charming, toy-like. People buy it without a second thought. One viral theory even claims this was predicted in a 2017 episode of The Simpsons. In it, the family receives a package containing a toy called Pazuzu that hypnotizes them. Some believe this was a reference to modern-day Labubu. Videos online show people claiming Labubu's eyes follow them or that they found listening devices inside. Some even cut open their Labubu to check. But honestly, I don't believe these theories, except maybe the Pazuzu resemblance. In those proof videos, the devices found are all different brands and models. If a company were actually doing this, wouldn't they all be the same? Many people are just making up things for internet views. We've seen this kind of craze before. Remember Furby? When it was first released, people lined up outside toy stores and prices skyrocketed on the black market. Owning a Furby was seen as a status symbol. Just like Labubu, Furby attracted more adults than kids. So yes, Labubu has quickly become a global phenomenon. In fact, an anime series based on the character is set to be released in 2025. 156 mini episodes, each 4 to 5 minutes long. And as you might guess, the biggest winner here is Pop Mart. In 2024, Pop Mart reported $1.8 billion in global revenue, with about $423 million coming from Labubu alone, a 729% increase in just 1 year. The blind box system meant customers weren't just buying one, they kept buying more to find the rarest figure. The most expensive Labubu ever sold went for $170,000 at the Yongle auction house in Beijing in June 2025. As for me, when they first came out, I found them a little strange and creepy, but over time, seeing them everywhere, I started thinking, maybe I should get one. They're cute. I'll admit, I was afraid of missing out. Now, after my research, I think this is just a temporary trend. Once this craze ends, I believe most people will put their Labubu aside and move on to the next blind box craze. My personal favorites are Crybaby and Stitch. I think they're adorable. Whenever I see someone carrying a toy, I don't judge. I think they look childlike and sweet. So, do you still want to buy a Labubu? What do you think about this toy?